Today we are going to be looking at Chapter 5, Lesson 2 in your online book. So for those of you that like for me to read it to you, I have opened up the student edition through clever.com and then your McGraw-Hill Discovery Social Studies book. Select Chapter 5, Lesson 2. All right, we've been talking about the French and Indian War and the conflict between the British and the colonists. Yesterday, we reviewed the Stamp Act, the Sugar Act, and the Townshend Acts, and how these different British policies were affecting the colonist mood. So let's see what's happening next with the conflict between the British and the colonists. Uniting the colonists. Why does it matter? It matters because harsh British controls aimed at controlling the colonies unified them instead. How did the American colonists react to the Boston Massacre? So today we're going to start looking at Massachusetts and Boston in particular. Protests continued to flare in the colonies, making British officials nervous. In 1768, they sent word to Britain that the colonies were on the brink of a rebellion, a rejection of British authority. Parliament sent troops to Boston. As angry colonists jeered, the Redcoats, the name for the British authority, set up camp in the center of the city. For many colonists, the British Act went too far. First, the colonists were convinced that the British had passed laws that violated their colonial rights. Now, Britain had sent an army to occupy or take control of their colonial cities. To make matters worse, the soldiers in Boston acted rudely. The Redcoats, who were mostly poor men, earned little pay. Some of them stole from local shops and got into fights with the colonists. Also, in their off hours, the soldiers competed for jobs that the Bostonians wanted. So tensions were beginning to grow in the streets. On March 5, 1770, violence erupted. A fight broke out between some Bostonians and soldiers. As British officers tried to calm the crowd, a man shouted, "We did not send for you. We will not have you here. We'll get rid of you. We'll drive you away." The angry townspeople surged forward. They began throwing sticks and stones at the soldiers. "Come on, you rascals, you bloody backs, you lobster scoundrels. Fire if you dare," someone in the crowd shouted. After one soldier was knocked down, a nervous redcoat did fire. They killed 5 colonists. Among the dead was Crispus Attucks, a dock worker who was part African, part Native American. One Bostonier cried, "Are the inhabitants to be knocked down in the streets? Are they to be murdered?" The colonists called the tragic encounter the Boston Massacre. So here's a video about Crispus Attucks.